Imagine a summer night so ordinary, yet hiding horrors so real they'll haunt your dreams forever. Tonight, I'm sharing three terrifying true stories. School lockdown chaos, eerie whispers in the dark, and a camper who disappeared without a trace. These aren't just tales. They're nightmares that actually happened. Ready to face the unknown? Then listen closely, if you dare. It was late August, right before the school year started. I'd missed the last bus home after hanging out too long at a friend's house. The sky had been cloudy all day, and by the time I reached the bus stop, it had started pouring. Heavy rain. No thunder, no lightning, just that constant drenching curtain of water. I was the only one at the stop. It was a quiet rural area, the kind where streetlights flicker and go out for no reason. I stood there, soaked and shivering, when I noticed her, a woman, standing at the far end of the bus shelter. She hadn't been there when I arrived. She was wearing an old-fashioned raincoat and a wide-brimmed hat. Her clothes looked out of place, like something from decades ago. I tried not to stare, but something felt off. She wasn't moving, not even a little, just standing completely still, facing the road. I cleared my throat and said, "Bus is late, huh?" No response. That's when I started to feel uneasy. The shelter was small. I should have heard her walk up, but I didn't, and the ground was soaked. No splashing, no footsteps. I slowly stepped away from her. Then I noticed something that made my stomach twist. She wasn't wet. Her coat, her shoes, her hat, perfectly dry. I took out my phone and turned on the flashlight. In that brief second of light, I saw her face, pale, emotionless, her eyes, black, like two bottomless pits. I froze. My heart was pounding so loud I thought she'd hear it. Then, a car's headlights appeared down the road. I turned to wave it down, desperate to get away. When I looked back, she was gone. Just gone. No sound, no splash, no footsteps. I got in the car, breathless, and didn't say a word the whole ride home. The next day, I told my friend's grandmother about what I saw. Her face went pale. She said, "That sounds like Eleanor." I asked who that was. She told me a woman named Eleanor had died at that very bus stop, almost 40 years ago, hit by a drunk driver. She'd been wearing a raincoat and a wide-brimmed hat, and ever since, she's been seen, on stormy nights, waiting for a ride she'll never take. I spoke. Last July, three of us decided to go on a weekend hike in the forest near Pine Hollow Road, an old, forgotten trail locals rarely used. We weren't amateurs. We had supplies, gear, everything. But none of that prepared us for what we found. The first day was peaceful, birds chirping, the breeze through the trees, that perfect stillness only a forest can offer. But as the sun began to set, we noticed something strange. There was a cabin, old, wooden, hidden behind a wall of overgrown trees. It wasn't on the map, no sign of life, no path leading to it. Of course, we were curious. We got closer. The door was slightly open, creaking in the wind. Inside, dust, broken furniture, cobwebs thick like curtains. But there was something else. In the corner of the room, a chair, facing the wall. It wasn't dusty, no cobwebs, as if someone had just been sitting in it. We looked around but didn't see anyone. Still, the air felt wrong, like the whole cabin was holding its breath. Then one of us, Mark, pointed out something carved into the wooden walls. Over and over again, the same sentence, "Don't turn around." That's when I noticed something chilling. Our footprints weren't the only ones on the floor. There were others, barefoot, leading from the chair to right behind us. We didn't even look at each other. We bolted straight into the woods, running blindly, branches slapping our faces, lungs burning. We didn't stop until we saw the road. Later that night, at a diner down the highway, an old man sitting nearby overheard us talking. He leaned over and asked, "You kids went down Pine Hollow?" We nodded. He looked pale. "You saw the cabin, didn't you?" He told us a story. Back in the 60s, a man lived in that cabin with his daughter. He was known for being unstable, violent. One summer night, he vanished. Locals said they saw the girl days later, wandering alone near the trees. But here's the thing, she was never found. And every now and then, people who wander too far down that path say they hear whispers from the trees or see someone standing by the cabin window, waiting. He finished with this: next time you see that place, don't go near it. And for God's sake, don't sit in the chair. Last summer, I went on a camping trip with 3 of my friends, Kyle, Nate, and Chris. We drove out to a remote forest in Oregon, one of those places where cell service dies after the last gas station. We wanted that. No distractions, just trees, fire, and stories by the tent. The first 2 nights were perfect. We hiked, swam in a freezing lake, and made stupid jokes by the fire. Then came the 3rd night. That's when Chris vanished. It started with a sound, a low whistle coming from the woods around midnight. We were all sitting around the fire when we heard it. 3 notes, slow and deliberate. Kyle laughed, thinking it was a bird. But Nate and I exchanged a look. That wasn't a bird. Chris stood up, staring into the trees. "You guys hear that?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "Creepy, right?" Chris didn't answer. He just walked into the trees. We called after him. No answer. We grabbed flashlights and went after him, calling his name. 10 minutes passed, then 20. We split up. Nothing. At some point, we all ended up back at the campfire. Chris was still gone. And then the whistle came again. But this time, it was right behind our tents. We turned our lights toward it, but there was nothing, just trees swaying in the breeze. We didn't sleep. By morning, Chris was still missing. We packed everything and hiked back to the car to drive to the nearest ranger station. The search lasted 3 days. They never found him. But here's the part that still haunts me. On the 2nd day of the search, a ranger told us something strange. A few years earlier, another camper, a guy around our age, had gone missing in the exact same area. His friends told the same story, a whistle, then he walked off into the woods, never to return. Locals have a name for it. They call it the forest song, a melody only some people can hear. And if you hear it, really hear it, you follow it, whether you want to or not. A month after the trip, I got a package in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single item, Chris's flashlight. It still had dirt on it, and a note, with just 3 words scribbled in shaky handwriting. Don't follow it. 3 stories. 1 shared feeling. Pure fear. Thank you for joining the Midnight Voice. If these tales sent a chill down your spine, you know what to do. Subscribe and let the darkness whisper to you again very soon.